typical day on Dharma Mining Station 3 is pleasantly monotonous. Wake up from your assigned sleep pod, consume your chosen morning nutrients plate, and don your fitted mining gear. Then head to the asteroid fields to gather materials. During your workday, you'll enjoy the standard Miners Union approved stamina and nutrients recovery sessions.
But on rare days, some excitement outside of the pre-planned sensory simulation events will happen. Two examples are the midi-feline fever and artificial gravity failure. These events are uncommon and usually do not result in large decline in station productivity. However, a more serious type of unplanned work interruption is an attack by the Vanduul Raiders.
Humanity's first experience with the Vanduul was when they attacked a colony in Orion 250 years ago. As you recalled from your employee anti-theft orientation video, Dharma mining stations are all outfitted with internal and external defense systems. What you may not know is that the stations closer to dangerous regions of space, like Mining Station 3, have a complement of combat patrol fighters. These highly skilled, independent contractors flying those fighters will keep a watchful eye out for all kinds of incoming attacks, including the Vanduul. They will do their best to prevent any unplanned interruptions to your ship's schedule and your station's in-production quotas.
If those pilots, who are not employees of Dharma Mining Company or its subsidiaries, fail to perform to contractual standards, you'll be ordered to stop work and place all your tools and materials into the safety-rated secured bins provided for you. Dharma Mining Station Security will try to stop any Vanduul who enter the facility. If any manage to enter your work area, please keep a few general tips in mind. Tip number 1. Run! Run very, very fast away from the Vanduul. If they catch you, they will terminate your life and therefore your employment with the Dharma Mining Corporation. This would be a good time to take a few minutes after this instructional period to ensure that all your Dharma benefits information is in order for your next of kin.
Tip number 2. If one Vanduul marauder or squad does not kill you, the next one probably will. Each group of Vanduul operate independently, even at the highest levels. They are not an empire as the UEE or a limited liability, shareholder-governed, for-profit interstellar conglomerate like Dharma Mining Company. This means if a Dharma Mining employee was somehow able to negotiate with or even evade one group of Vanduul, the next one that comes along would have no reason to honor any prior agreements or likewise ignore you. Negotiation isn't very likely, however. The first post-Mesa Imperator tried to open diplomatic relations, but nothing came of it. Hiding may work if you can find a work bin in your area large enough to crawl inside, but this is not recommended. Remember tip number 1.
Run!
Tip number 3. If you do fight, and if you use your Dharma Mining Company gear as weapons, and in the unlikely event that you survive, be sure to report any damage caused to the equipment before your shift is over. But remember tip number 1.
Run!
In the even more unlikely event that you kill a Vanduul, you should leave the corpse and any equipment undisturbed until the specialized recovery team arrives to dispose of the remains.
Tip number 4. Dharma employees are especially cautioned to avoid any Vanduul knives, whether in the hands of a living Vanduul or separated from a deceased one. In the first instance, it is a dangerous stabbing implement capable of penetrating standard-issue Dharma Mining Company vacuum suits. In the second instance, it is a very personal item, and it could lead to trouble.
When a Vanduul becomes of a certain age, about that of a human teenager, they're expelled from their family. Their mother and father will fashion a knife and give it to the child. This will be the only possession of the young Vanduul. Thus no child has any right to their parents' wealth. They must start with just the knife and work their way up.
Much like the Dharma Mining Company, their political system is a meritocracy. You are what you obtain. A knife taken in combat might be considered fairly appropriated. However, your Dharma Mining Company workers' compensation plan excludes coverage for injuries sustained in voluntary combat. Remember tip number 1.
Run!
However, if the knife is ever taken by other means, such as recovered from a predeceased Vanduul, other members of its group will hunt down that knife and take it back in the worst way possible.
Just remember, Dharma Mining Company takes your safety and productivity seriously. If you have any questions or concerns, please ask your supervisor. And remember, after the presentation, update your company benefit forms, just in case.
Are you new to the verse and need a bit of advice? Is there a nugget of lore some Sith or Civ taught you that we all should know? Let us know by dropping us an email to squawk@guardfrequency.com. But for now, let's